You wanted to know what it's called if you're contracting and dilate a little bit, but then you continue contracting and you don't dilate. And this is actually very, very common. It's very normal for women to have contractions towards the end of their pregnancy, like after 37 weeks. And a lot of people think that contractions equal labor, but they don't. In fact, you can have a lot of painful and regular contractions that don't dilate your cervix. And that's where people get confused and frustrated. The true definition of labor is cervical change or dilation over a short period of time. So if you are less than 37 weeks, you should go to the hospital if you're having just 4 to 5 contractions an hour, which is only every 10 to 15 minutes. And they'll want to check you out for preterm labor. The whole point is we want you to come in before your cervix is changing so that we can hopefully stop them and prevent you from dilating. But after 37 weeks, you're full term and contractions are welcome. With that said, it's best if your baby is born after 39 weeks. And so you don't want to do anything to encourage it before then. But if you have some contractions before that point, it's not a bad thing because hopefully it's helping to prep your body for labor. In the days to weeks leading up to the delivery of your baby, your body is ripening your cervix. And that sounds like a funny term because that's what fruit does, but it's very similar to what the cervix does. It starts out being very thick. It's way far back in your pelvis, and it's kind of hard in consistency. And then as it ripens because your body releases hormones called prostaglandins. It begins to soften, move forward in your pelvis, and thin out. And then your brain at some point will begin to release a hormone called oxytocin that makes you contract regularly. And those contractions may lead to dilation if they're intense enough and regular enough and your cervix has been ripened prior to having regular and intense contractions. If you have a cervix of steel, basically one that's still hard in consistency, way far back in your pelvis and as thick as it was on the day you got pregnant, it will not respond and dilate to regular contractions. So those irregular, regular contractions, that's what I call it, in the couple of weeks leading up to the delivery of your baby are not all in vain because hopefully this is all helping with the ripening process. And then after 37 weeks, when your contractions are 3 to 5 minutes apart and that's been going on for at least 2 hours, then it's time to go to the hospital and get checked to see if you're actually in labor or to see if your cervix is dilating. And the only way to know if that's happening or not is by getting checked. A trained labor and delivery nurse or your doctor will check your cervix upon arrival, and then over the course of an hour, they'll watch the pattern of your baby's heart rate, check your vital signs, and then basically just cross their fingers, tell you to work hard, and shut the door. Come back an hour later and see if your cervix has changed. And if it's dilated, then that means you're in labor and you're going to get to stay in the hospital and have your baby. Now, with all of this said, there's other reasons independent of contractions that you should go to the hospital for. So let's say you're not really contracting much. You're 38 weeks, but you feel like your water broke, or you're having vaginal bleeding, or you're not feeling your baby move as much as usual. Those are all reasons to go to the hospital in and of themselves. So you should only wait till your contractions are 3 to 5 minutes apart, and that's been lasting for at least 2 hours. If you're not having bleeding, you're not leaking fluid, and you're feeling your baby move in between contractions. Now, one other piece to help clarify your question about contractions, a lot of people refer to contractions as false contractions, real contractions, Braxton Hicks contractions. They're all a contraction. A contraction is called a contraction because your uterus is a muscle and it contracts down and it causes the baby's head to put pressure on the cervix, and that helps it to thin out and open up so the baby can fit through and be born. So basically, again, what you're looking for is the frequency and intensity. And again, if you're less than 37 weeks and you're having 4 to 5 an hour, then go get checked out because we don't want anything to be happening. Good luck with everything. And if you have more questions in the future for me, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.